What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Death on the Nile. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. Let me preface this by saying that I've never read the book, and I've never watched the previous 1978 adaptation, so this is my first encounter, if you will, with the legendary murder mystery thriller that is Death on the Nile. And now, having seen this film, I gotta say, I enjoyed this way better than I did its 2017 predecessor, Murder on the Orient Express. I personally just find this to be much more compelling. Death on the Nile is elegant, exquisite, captivating, in addition to its eye-catching, breathtaking cinematography. And there's a certain sensitivity and sadness to the character Hercule Poirot this time around. Like a man burdened by regrets, a man who views his talent as both a blessing and a curse. But the million-dollar question remains, is the whole controversy surrounding Armie Hammer's rape allegations gonna turn people off or discourage them from going to watch this movie? My guess is yes, it probably will. Based on Agatha Christie's 1937 novel adapted by Michael Green and directed by Kenneth Branagh, in Death on the Nile, Belgian detective Hercule Poirot's Egyptian vacation aboard a glamorous river steamer turns into a terrifying search for a murderer when a picture-perfect couple's honeymoon is tragically cut short. Set against an epic landscape of sweeping desert vistas and the majestic Giza pyramids, this dramatic tale of love gone wrong features a cosmopolitan group of impeccably dressed travelers and enough wicked twists and turns to leave audiences guessing until the final shocking denouement. Starring Kenneth Branagh, Tom Bateman, Annette Bening, Russell Brand, Gal Gadot, Armie Hammer, Rose Leslie, Emma Mackey, Sophie Okonedo, and Letitia Wright. If you notice, this film's marketing has gone out of its way to minimize Armie Hammer's involvement, well, that's because it literally has. But you can only do so much about the film itself. So you ask, why didn't they just go through reshoots a la Christopher Plummer on All the Money in the World? Well, from what I read, they were considering that option. But ultimately, due to the pandemic and the fact that the scale of this project was massive and costly, even digitally replacing Armie Hammer was not feasible. It couldn't be done. So, was it awkward for me watching this movie with his face plastered on the screen? Yeah, kinda. Because as much as I tried, I couldn't get that scandal of his out of my head. Therefore, I wasn't able to separate the character from the actor. But putting Armie aside, I stand by what I said earlier, in that I do consider Death on the Nile to be a much more intriguing film than Murder on the Orient Express. The mystery here is not easy to pin down. It most definitely takes me out for a loop. Yes, it's a big ensemble cast, but each of them gets a fair share of screen time. That said, there's this other romantic soap opera subplot going on that warrants its own space. It's a little tricky maneuvering, but the script manages to play that into Poirot's emotional grief that's weighing heavy on him. Cinematically, this movie is a wonder to behold. And I'm not just talking about the green screen VFX for the outdoor spectacle for the Grand Egypt, but I'm mostly referring to the movement of the Panasonic cameras. It's visceral and hypnotic. It also accentuates some of this film's more shocking and gripping moments. Now, despite how you may feel politically about Gal Gadot, Russell Brand, and Letitia Wright, their performances along with the rest on the cast are surprisingly solid, especially for me who went in knowing nothing at all about the story. These actors did a fabulous job of pulling me deeper and deeper into this intricate whodunit. The one that takes the spotlight, however, is Emma Mackey. After having played a high schooler for years on the Netflix series Sex Education, this is probably Emma's most mature role yet, and she's proving to have a pretty impressive wide range. But to get people to stop comparing her to Margot Robbie, with whom she shares some physical resemblance, now that's the difficult part. So yeah, overall, Death on the Nile is riveting. But unfortunately, whatever I say to convince you will most likely be overpowered by current public opinion against Armie Hammer. He will be the death of this movie.